Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Bandit's Den. As promised, I have returned from my friend's animal sanctuary out in the mountains, and let me tell you, it was an experience. As promised by every vegan I've watched that has visited an animal sanctuary, it is an emotional roller coaster being at an animal sanctuary as a vegan. Now, I'm going to go ahead and roll the footage while I talk about this. It's an emotional roller coaster, and I told my friend I very well might cry when I'm at his sanctuary. He said that's fine, of course. I didn't cry, but a few times my eyes did well up a little bit, because I was able to spend a significant amount of time with these gentle giants, these peaceful, kind creatures, these trusting creatures that wanted nothing more than to just get along. That's all they wanted out of me, really. They never did anything to me while I was there. And just, it's wonderful. It's a very happy moment to be there with these animals. While you know they are being treated well, you know they will remain there or under somebody's care for the remainder of their lives and be treated well. But the very sad thing is that the vast majority of animals just like these individuals across the globe, most of them are mistreated throughout their entire lives by us humans, when all they really wanted was to get along. They're severely mistreated by us. They don't understand why we treat them that way, and even if they aren't treated like shit their entire life, they're ultimately betrayed at the end of their life by a human putting a bolt gun through their head or putting them through electrocution and then getting a knife pulled across their throat. You know, it's very sad to think of that while spending time with these gentle animals. One of the animals that he's a guardian of at the sanctuary was his first cow. His first cow was descendant from dairy cows. And I guess the farmers didn't want her. They had enough dairy cows already when she was born. And, they don't let the mothers stay with their calves. And so this angel of a cow was given to somebody to train children how to rope calves with. And so she was used to teach amateurs how to rope calves. And when she arrived, she had scars all over her body from that. She was going to get slaughtered, I believe, if nobody would take her in. And he ended up taking her in, I suppose. And yeah, she's just a sweetheart. She had 2 big holes in her ears from the tags, which they had removed. One of them was severely infected when they first got her. And they removed it from her ear. And she is such a trusting little thing. Well, a trusting big thing. She probably could have broken my foot if she ran over it. But they do their best not to harm you. And the last thing they would want to do is harm anybody, because they're just gentle beasts. And then they also have a steer. It's a steer because he is castrated. And, in movies, male cows, bulls and steers, are reputed to be extremely aggressive when you step in their territory. They're, and I had my misgivings about walking around with a bull on the property, right? Because I was like, oh, fuck, I've seen these at rodeos. Well, the thing about rodeos is they break their tails in order to piss them off to get them to act like that. And they do other things like cattle prod them, and they really hurt those animals to get them to act that way at rodeos. And in movies where they just like stare at you and then charge you, well, that's the movie industry, right? They like to dramatize things. This guy is a very gentle animal, just like any other. Doesn't want to hurt you. And the only reason he ever bumped into me with his horns while we were there is because he forgets he has horns on his head. And he wants to turn his head to look at something, right? It's purely accidental if this big guy ever hits you with his horns. Also, there's athletic tape on his horns to keep them from being sharp so that he can't accidentally gore you when he's looking around, right? And then the other two cows that are on his property are black Angus cows. And it was something else to spend time with these cows because you see black Angus everywhere, right? Texas touts it as some of the best beef, some of the best cow corpse that you can eat in the nation. And everybody brags about how good the black Angus is and stuff like that. Well, these beautiful creatures are like 8 months old. They'll walk right up to you to see what you're doing, to say hi. And one of them in particular took a special interest to me, and she just wanted me to pet her. And she licked my hand. It's crazy how rough a cow's tongue is. And it was really weird to think that one of my favorite dishes used to be lengua de vaca. Because this giant fucking dog was licking me with the very muscle that used to be one of my favorite things to eat from a cow. And instead, this cow I was standing with, and this cow was using that muscle to show affection toward me. This muscle that I used to pay good money in order to eat. It was so surreal to be there. You know, and then they also have lots of dogs. Their dogs get along with all the other animals. It was like walking around in the Garden of Eden when I was there. All of their animals get along because they're all domestic animals. It's like a paradise, really. And it's a paradise that I paid for other animals to never get to see. I paid for them to see the exact opposite of what this place is for these animals. I used to pay for that. I used to pay for the torture and suffering of these gentle animals that I always proclaimed to love, but I always paid for them to suffer and die. But they also have some pigs that they're taking care of there. I think 5 in total. Pigs are very nice creatures. Many vegans' favorite domestic animal or animal agriculture industry animal is pigs. From my experiences, my favorite, pigs, is the cows. The cows are just so nice, wonderful, gentle. They're really slothful, I guess. They move around really slowly, fairly predictable, and yeah, you know, the pigs, though, you can look in their eyes, and you can tell, just by looking in their eyes, you can tell how very sentient they really are. It was very similar to looking into a human's eyes. And the only difference is their eyes are a little closer to the ground than ours are. But it was almost as if those pigs wanted to say something. However, of course, you know, they can't actually verbalize like humans do. But, you know, each one of them is a unique individual. They each have their own character flaws, and they each have their own character strengths. You know, but I'm glad I got to have this experience. I do plan on returning Because I couldn't get my drone to work. I need to work on that. Get my drone up and running. I came unprepared with my drone today. So I wasn't able to get beautiful footage of the cows roaming around on the property. I don't know what they'll think of the drone. It might scare them. We'll find out. But I do plan on returning. They're going to get some goats. There's a couple goats that they have a pretty far out deadline to get. They're going to go to slaughter in, I don't know, like 6 months. So they have some time to prepare for the goats. And I hope to help them prepare for them, building a pen and stuff. That would be really cool to see the whole process, because I would like to have an animal sanctuary myself. So it would be good for me to not only help them for the sake of helping an animal sanctuary, but also for the sake of learning myself how to build a pen for smaller animal agriculture industry animals, so that I can start my own animal sanctuary.
What's up, dude?
Because these animals really are a joy to be around. One of the most important things that animals teach me is to enjoy the moment that I'm in now, to not be concerned about the future, to not get anxiety over the future, and to not regret the past as much. Because all of these animals at this place have been through probably worse situations than I ever have in my life. And you guys know I haven't had the easiest life in the world. But all of those animals there have most likely been through significantly worse stuff than I have. And here they are enjoying their lives regardless, and living in the moment, which I think is just so beautiful. And it's something that I think most humans can learn to not perfect, but at least do a little bit better. And I think that's why we spend a lot of our time running from ourselves, because we don't feel comfortable in our own skin the way that all of these animals do. So I'm glad to be able to present to you guys some footage from my good friend's animal sanctuary. One of the most beautiful places I've been in a very, very long time. And I am most definitely going to return. So I'm glad I was able to show you guys how wonderful these animals can be. And give you a reminder that I am living proof, as well as my friends over there at Ahimsa Animal Sanctuary. We are living proof that you don't have to put these animals on your dinner plate. You can respect these animals and stay away from them, or if you're like me and you can get along with other life forms and enjoy getting along with them, you can hang out with them instead of torturing, killing, and eating them, because they are wonderful to be around. Anyways, you guys have a good one. Peace out for real. For anybody that hasn't considered it yet, I highly recommend you go vegan. That'd be one less thing that we're causing that's negative in this world. Thanks for joining me. Later.
No se confiera, ma que